You can't go wrong with finding the middle of the green. That's well done. Wasn't right down the middle, but it wasn't bad at all, coming at this second shot from the right side of the fairway.
St. Andrews is probably the only place in the world that you don't go, I hit the green in regulation. And this is good evidence. More than 100 feet left for birdie.
Just 90 yards remaining here for his second into the par 4.
Well, the ball is on the green. That's about all I can say with that. With a short wedge in hand, you'd expect that certainly be much closer than that.
So a big drive, and not much needed to carry here for his second. And that'll do just fine. This one of the longest putts you can have on a golf course, though it is for birdie. You got to think 2 putts will work out fine from here, but this is a long look for birdie. A lot of movement on this putt left to right. I think the idea here is just to get it inside sort of a 3-foot circle. Oh, this one is tracking. It's on a good line. Look out. This one could be really good. Oh, yeah. What a putt there. It's in from long distance for birdie here at the 9th. And with that, she'll go out in 35, 1 under par. Yeah, that's a good putt. It's in for par here at the 9th. Yeah, that will mean it's a front 9 score of 35, 1 under par. Nothing to it. Well done. It's a birdie here at the 9th. And he'll go out in 34, 2 under par for this front side. Well holed. That's in for her par at the 9th. And that will make this a 3 over 39 on this front side. As we begin the backside here at St. Andrews, you can really feel the history. This hole named in honor of the legendary Bobby Jones, who won the 1927 Open and the 1930 Amateur. Obviously, 1930 was his Grand Slam year. Retired, by the way, at the age of 28. And then founded and built with Alistair McKenzie Augusta National. So a little bit of history lesson as you play this 340-yard par 4 10th. And that will be more than adequate. It's safely into the fairway. So this, Iona, her second from the fairway.
139 is the number. And the pin, it's in the front portion of the green.
I suspect a little bit of a misset with the approach shot. That ball barely gets on the front edge.
Second shot, good look at the green.
That's a head scratcher, that approach shot from relatively close in. I would have been looking at 10 to 15 feet.
Little bit of an awkward distance for this, his second. Well, it's on, but that's going to make things difficult from there. Good chance to get one in close from here. This, his second. Okay, on the green, but that's going to leave a putt that will get your attention. This one's going to need to carry some pace with it. A long one for birdie. Back up the slope. Now, from long range, this for birdie. This is a long putt. Really, the key is the speed. If it drops, that's a bonus. Yeah, you had a pretty good run at that, but it won't go down. Still pretty good from there. This from 7 feet. Three over for the day. That, so nearly a birdie, but par is all he'll have to show for it. Disappointment there. He'll brush it in, and that'll be just a par. Now to the par 3 11th, and Frank, what's the key here?
Well, this green is slightly elevated. Huge false front, sort of left and right of that Strath bunker. And, of course, that bunker on the hill, or should I say that bunker on the left is called Hill. That's the famous bunker where Bobby Jones couldn't get out of it many years ago and actually ripped up his scorecard. So a good tee shot here, just find that right level where the flag is.
Okay, that's a good shot. Front left portion of the green and a birdie opportunity coming up. Boy, this is just way too much club for a front hole location. That was completely overcooked. All right, you take those all day long. On the green, chance for birdie coming up. And that one not on the green, but not in a terrible spot either, sitting up in the short grass. The tee shot left her here on the par 3, now a long one for her second. Okay, that's acceptable there. This one's going to need to carry some pace with it, a long one for birdie, back up the slope. Maybe a spot for the lob wedge, a second to the par 3. Now this putt from 23 feet. That one just gonna sneak on by. A birdie putt here at the 11th.
Well, in all things considered, he's in pretty good shape, coming back up the slope, working slightly to the right.
Oh yes, that's the right line, and it's in for a birdie. Well done. Pretty good read there. Definitely good speed, and that just skips a foot or so by. One under for the round. So he came into this hole at 2 under, but he will leave at even par. Well, don't be fooled. It says only 316 yards on the card. This is the 12th hole, but you can really end up in a ton of trouble here. Bunkers are hidden all over the fairway. If you want to get through this hole clean, probably take out the long iron and play it down the left side. That'll still give you a short approach in. Yeah, good swing and a good result, as that is safely into the fairway. And that one not quite able to hang on. It's into the bunker. And that was flirting with disaster the whole way, and it's going to wind up hopping into the bunker. That's on a pretty good line so far. Drivable par 4, not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot.
Now, that's actually a pretty good shot, really. I know that's not exactly close to the hole, but out of the fairway bunker, safely on deck.
So now she's looking at a tough second here, out of the sand.
Now, that's actually a pretty good shot, really. I know that's not exactly close to the hole, but out of the fairway bunker, safely on deck.
The big drive got him here. Now a short one for his second. Yep, played that nicely. That'll work out just fine. Your reward for knocking your tee shot on the green? Good luck with this one, though. It is for eagle. Birdie putt coming up, but you gotta think anything inside of 7 or 8 feet here is pretty darn good. This one's going to need to carry some pace with it. A long one for birdie. Back up the slope. Double greens? What double greens? That one finds the bottom of the barrel for a long birdie. This is an 11-foot putt. Nine feet left here for birdie. Nah, that's going to miss right, and a good opportunity goes by the wayside. Shouldn't be much in this for birdie. Ah, yes, very well read. To 1 under now for the day. That, so nearly a birdie, but par is all he'll have to show for it. Okay, no problem with that one. Here's a great hole, the 13th. It's 418 yards. The key, and you can see it as plain as day, is to stay away from those coffin bunkers. They are nasty. The approach should be aimed right at the center of this gigantic double green.
That got a fortunate bounce. It'll be just fine.
And this, a tee shot that fits the eye, and that'll be just fine.
Well, that's an excellent tee shot down the right side. It's just been punished a little bit, though, unfairly, because the hole is cut front right.
Pretty far from the hole, but still on the green, and that's never too bad. Well, had a good lie in the fairway, but couldn't do anything with it. That comes up woefully short. A good break got him here, now his second to the par 4.
It's a good shot, but does leave that little uphill putt, so that one will be slow.
From the fairway, Iona, this his second.
Yes, there's 135 yards to the flag. Pin, front right. It's a sneaky one.
And that one barely makes the front of the green. Do you realize if you just miss hit the middle of the club by 1/4 of an inch, you lose 10%? That's right, 10%.
Okay, sensible play right there, and that one on deck. 3 putts, a definite possibility here. This is a long look for birdie. Just ideal. Good speed on that putt, and just a tap in remaining. This is a putt for birdie from long range. Probably would be happy to get down in 2. "14 feet to the hole." That is so painful when you come up that short.
Why is it that putts on line come up short?
Nope. So close to a birdie, but she'll be left shaking her head as she finishes that for a par. Disappointment there. He'll brush it in, and that'll be just a par. One over for the day. You know a course is old when instead of white out-of-bounds sticks, they have an out-of-bounds wall, and that's on the right. So most players are taking it down that left side. That landing area, and this is again how you know a course is old. It has all these wonderful little names. It's known as the Elysian Fields.
Oh, talk about a friendly kick. I never got those. It could have stayed in the rough for the same price.
This may be a touch right. Yeah, nothing to fault there. Good balance, good follow through, and a good start to this hole. He seemed to like that one as well. He should. It'll wind up just right of center. Good shot.
There's certainly a lot of different ways to play a par 5. Gonna have to figure out the best way to play this par 5 using 3 shots to reach the green.
Now a second from well over 300 yards. This will be about positioning. Good shot right there with that 3-wood sitting up nicely.
Yeah, most importantly, the second shot's on the fairway. And this par 5 playing long today. See how close this third shot can be hit.
That's what he wanted to do. After the tee shot, puts himself in really good position here on the par 5. So in the fairway, but a pretty good number to carry here for a second to the par 5. I'm not sure he got every bit of that 3-wood trying to get home to this par 5 in 2, but still in the ball game for a birdie. Third shot, looking for a good one. Ah, good soft hands. That is nicely done. Gonna have to accelerate through the sand here to give this enough carry. Yeah, that one came out hot, tough to judge sometimes coming out of the sand, and that winds up well beyond the flag. This is a 23-foot putt. Good effort, but that'll run 2-3 feet past the hole. This for birdie now at 14.
Speed, not break, will be the issue here as it picks up momentum going down the slope.
A very makeable 8-footer for birdie. Are you kidding me?
That looked like it was in.
Oh my goodness. Okay, can't take putts that length for granted, but that's in for a par. Rough day so far, 4 over par on the round. Okay, that one finished off, but it is a double bogey. That so nearly a birdie, but par is all he'll have to show for it. Back here at the 15th, and Frank, this fairway narrows up in a hurry.
And it's also, there's a big crop of heather that sort of constrains you if you're going to hit it just straight down the middle. Only the brave go down the right side. That brings in those little bunkers called robs, and they'll rob your scorecard, that's for sure.
Beautiful tempo to that swing, and this is going to wind up squarely in the fairway. This starting toward the right side. So that ball nestles down in the rough. Just got to weigh a little bit on that tee ball. And it would appear that that ball is into the bunker. Well, given the choice, most players would rather play from the green grass versus the white sand.
Yeah, there was no advantage to try and take that much more out of that fairway bunker. Couldn't reach the green. That's a smart play.
so he may need to choke up on this one as he gets set for his second. That's well played, and now a good look at birdie. So Iona, this his second from the fairway.
136 is the number, pin smack bang in the middle.
In my book, that's a good shot. You could really aim at the middle of just about every single green. If you did it all day long, some of those would finish up close, and you'd have plenty of birdie putts.
I like the looks of this one.
Way too good, I must say. That was just smashed. Yeah, sizable putt left.
Okay, on the putting surface, but work to do from there. Good chunk of real estate here, 22 feet away. Got it there, but not quite on target. Not a problem. That's in for birdie, and that score moves to 2 under par. That's going to leak out to the right and trickle away. Not the right read there. Oh no, a lapse in concentration there. That'll cost him. Been a rocky road to this point. 4 over par on the round. Cleans that up in the hole. So we've talked about options. That's the genius of the old course. And here we have another great example at the 381-yard par 416. You can play it on the safe side by aiming down the left side. You want to try to avoid the cluster of bunkers known as, I love this, the principal's nose, or you can aim right. But if you do, you risk going OB. And no issues there. Good tee shot in the short grass. That one looking a little right.
And that one barely makes the front of the green. Do you realise if you just miss hit the middle of the club by 1/4 of an inch, you lose 10%. That's right, 10%.
Good chance at one.
Nice approach shot, and the other good thing about that, left it below the hole.
Put it in a great spot off the tee. Has just 86 yards left for his second shot. See what he can do with this.
And desperately trying to get that shot dropped back straight away. And there's a good chance now after that shot.
Gonna have to give this a pretty good thump. This is well back there and into the hill. Not quite enough pace on that putt. A birdie putt down to Iona.
Seeing it's one thing, but trusting it is a whole different ball game. You've got to start this way out to the left because it's going to break off to the right, and then it's going to flatten out towards that final section of the putt.
Well, that takes the strain off the next one.
Good lag putt right there. 11 feet away. That one just gonna sneak on by. Not much to this one. It's for birdie. If only they could all be that short. Very well played there, and it results in an easy birdie. Disappointment there. He'll brush it in, and that'll be just a par. So the birdie not to be, and she'll brush that in for her par. All right, the 17th hole. You can get room service along the way here.
You can. If you flare one right there, you'll also pay a penalty for out of bounds. And so that hamburger better taste good. It better be worth it. A little left of that, little left of the out of bounds, and you're left with a second shot. That's fairly daunting because you have the road hole bunker to avoid and the road behind the green. Hence the name.
No issues here. That is into the fairway. This one's starting a little bit right. Wayward from the tee, and this one is headed for the rough, Frank. From the heart of the fairway, 180 yards in. And he's set up for his second shot here, looking to knock it on the green. "105 yards out." Well, that's all you want right there. Just lag it down, don't get too crazy, and now just to tap in left. "28 feet from the cup."